In this in-depth 2-hour course, I'm going to show you how to make a melodic house track in the style of artists like Böhmer, Lane, and those sort of guys. This is what we're going to be making. And if you'd like to follow along with me as we go through this course from start to finish, grab the free project below. And let's hop in. All right, let's get started. We're going to start off by getting a reference track in just to map out the structure of our track. If we do this early, it's going to make our life tons easier because we'll have a structure to work to rather than sort of just guessing where each section is going to be. So I'm going to bring in a classic melodic house track called Beyond Beliefs by Böhmer. I'm just going to drag the audio file onto this created audio track here called reference, if it actually works correctly. And we're going to use this to map out our structure. Now, I know the original track is at 124 beats per minute, so I'm going to copy that for my track here, set my host tempo to 124, and I'm going to make sure that the start of our track, our reference track, is right on the first note so that it's right on the beat. I'm also going to really quickly just turn on warping and pitch it up a couple semitones just for copyright purposes. Right, so it's not going to sound exactly like the original, but I can roughly map out the structure. Now on this MIDI channel up here, I can map out every 8 bars of structure in this track. 8 bars tends to be how long 8 bars does tend to be how long a section is in house music, particularly in melodic house. So I'm going to do this in 8-bar increments just to keep things simple and streamlined. So I'm going to press Shift-Command-M, insert a MIDI clip here. And we've sort of got a melodic intro, just some shakers and sort of like a repeating arp. Seems to repeat here as well. All right, so I'm going to let that continue across there. Here's where the drums come in. Right. So I'm going to put in here a new one. We're going to call this drums plus bass. I'm going to color it slightly differently, just so I know, maybe a bit of a deeper orange just to differentiate it, just so I know this is sort of a bigger section. I'm also going to put plus lead because the lead comes in there and continues through this section. I'm going to duplicate this and call this counter melody because there's a little flourish there, right? A little melodic flourish, developing the idea a little bit more, plus percs. So there's a few more percussions coming in now. I'm going to also say plus pad. Oh, because there's like a little background pad sort of coming in here. Okay, we're going to duplicate this and say snare, or say, I'll say clap because I'm probably going to use a clap. Comes in here. There's a bit more ambience developing in this section too, so clap and ambience. So there's no new sounds being introduced here, but we are hearing more automation, modulation opening up on our synths delay tails coming in. So I can kind of indicate that that's what's happening here, a bit of development in the idea. And then we sort of go into a breakdown here. I'm going to color this blue just to sort of indicate a lower energy point in the track. I'm going to say breakdown delay because it's a lot of the delay tails that are going on. And there's sort of a newer melody coming in here, which I quite like. sort of builds up there. We'll see how we go for time. We might not do the second half of the track, but we'll just say this builds up to here. Here I'm going to put the same color. I'm going to call this bass. So there's a sort of a build up to the bass here. Well, where's the color? There we go. And then we have like a sort of a little gap here by looks of things. And then I would say it's back to the normal drop pattern. This time with a ride cymbal in. Here there's a hat that comes in for the first time that we haven't really heard yet. It's like a very strong offbeat hat that we haven't heard yet. We're going to say that the new melody comes back in here. So that's like a new counter melody. I'm going to say up octave melody. So the main melody that we had since the beginning goes up the octave. Then it just goes back to the main idea. And I'm going to say like the lead kind of comes back out here. So I'm going to say no lead. Okay, it's kind of like an outro. So we're going to color it accordingly. That's our structure. We'll see how we go for time in terms of like mapping that out. We'll see if we also keep this gap here. We might do something different in our track. But we got the reference all dialed in now. I'm going to turn off the reference tracks switch, so we don't actually need to listen to it anymore. We can just go off this structure. We may leave it in here later for mixing purposes, but now that we've got the structure and BPM sorted, we can start with the kick drum and just get the all-important 4 on the floor kick drum sorted. It's not complicated, guys. It's literally just a 4 on the floor kick drum, like all house music. If you're not familiar with how that works, we're just going to zero in on the drums bass lead section. I think that's probably the easiest to start with, considering we got drums in this section. This new channel here, we're going to call kick. We're going to pick a good kick sample, basically. These are all downloaded from good quality melodic house packs. We may layer a couple together to create something unique. So let's find one that just sort of feels nice and punchy, right? Melodic house kicks tend to have this good solid click at the beginning, but also a very fast pitch envelope so that the tail of the kick is very, but a little bit tonal, I guess you could say. So it's like kind of like a sort of effect. Like that. That's one's got like sort of a nice texture to it as well, which is kind of nice for certain melodic house vibes. I'm going to try bringing in this one. Now I notice there's a bit of a sort of gap at the beginning of the sample here. So I'm just going to bring that right up in terms of the start point to the beginning there. Let's start with that. I am going to also create a new channel here. I'm going to call this kick click. I'm going to layer in a secondary sort of click sample just at the beginning of the sample here, just to add something unique. Maybe this sort of click could be nice. So we're going to take this sample, cut it up, fade it, zoom in and make sure we've got a decent alignment with our waveforms. I'm going to also bring the start point of this one a little forward here and maybe pitch it up a little bit. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, without the click. Ooh. That's nice. I'm going to bring that click down a little bit. That just adds that nice bit of energy that I'm after. What I'm going to do to control all of this is I'm going to group these two together. We're going to call this kick. We're going to create a new audio channel. Before I forget, I'm just going to head to my master here, turn on my limiter on transparent mode, turn off true peak limiting. We don't need that for now. That's another video for another time, why I don't like true peak limiting. If you want me to make it, let me know. Going to bring the output up to 0 as well just for now. What we're going to do here is also, actually, we're just going to turn the kick up into our mastering limiter let it sort of control the peak that this click could be adding and resample it into this new audio channel. So we're going to use this volume to make sure that the amount of limiting is appropriate. So let's open this up and look what's going on. Okay, let's boost it up on the channel here. Yeah, that's a nice solid waveform. Let's see the waveform on our smexoscope here, see what it looks like. Yeah, nice. Nice solid beefy waveform. Okay, let's resample this, call it kick. We're going to use the same green color as the original because I like it. And resample. There's our brand new kick drum, guys. That's how you do it. In fact, what I am going to do actually is I'm going to ease this back by 0.5. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Delete this. It's just I can see it just clipping a little bit too much for my liking. We're going to go 0.5. I think that's a nice amount of control there because we are going to re-limit the kick when we master this track, right? So don't overdo it. Perfect. We can delete this. That's our kick drum, guys. We got our own original kick by layering a couple samples together. Boom. All right, let's consolidate that. Let's paste that on every 4 on the floor beat, right? So this is 1 bar. We're going to go duplicate. Oops. Duplicate. Sounds good so far. Really not complicated. We're going to duplicate it out for the full. We're just going to do 8 bars for now. Or actually, you know what? We'll do 16 bars because I may want to do something with the bass line. We also may add some variation to the kick pattern, but again, just to start off, we're going to have a simple kick drum, right? That's all we need to do. Yeah, again, you can see the tail there is pretty solid, but the most of the energy is at the beginning with that click. So we're going to start with that. We're going to move on to our bass now, and we're going to sort of get a little bit of a vibe going. Now, melodic house is quite similar to progressive house. It's kind of the parent genre, if you like to think of it that way, right? Progressive house is very melodic as well. Lots of nice chord stabs, lots of nice percussion, thinking of like early Deadmau5 and those sort of days in terms of the style. Melodic house kind of goes in a bit more of a melodic direction as opposed to a percussive rhythmic direction. Progressive house tended to have more emphasis on rhythm while it was still quite melodic. So the bass line we're going to add in this track is going to be a little more slow moving, a little more organic sounding, a little more epic, for lack of a better term. So I'm going to load up a new MIDI track here. We're going to call this bass, and I'm going to color it a nice light orange because it looks like a nice color for me. We've used a lot of orange so far, but I like the light orange. Now, in terms of the actual sound here, there's a few different sounds I've pre-created that I'm going to try out here. I've got this Reese pluck. I'm going to dive into the sound design of it a bit, but I'm just going to load up a preset to get the writing down, and then we'll sort of ask ourselves whether the actual preset is the right one for the job. So let's load this up here. I'm going to load up a 16 bar MIDI clip because we're going to do a sort of a longer pattern here, starting off on the 1. In terms of key here, I'm thinking I'm going to go for something like G sharp minor, which is A flat minor. So same thing. Let's listen to this here. Turn on the headphone solo. Might be a bit too reverby, I'm starting to think. Let's see. Have a look at our reverb in here, or chorus, should I say. Bring that down a little bit. Let's bring down the filter a bit too on this this macro. What is it called? Macro. I'm also going to bring down this low pass filter on the EQ after the serum, just because it's a bit too bright. But before we really do anything else, we're going to need to dial in some sidechain. Otherwise, we're just not going to be able to ride a solid bass line. So I'm going to bring in a compressor here, bring it in from the kick. Actually, you know what? We're going to duplicate the kick drum. We're going to call this one sidechain, color it black, assign it to our clips. We are going to shorten this kick drum on the sidechain channel to a very, very short clicky type sample, just so we get this really tight sidechain. It sounds like this. That's all we really need. And then we're going to delete all the other kicks that we've got in here. zoom out a bit. Boom. All done. And then with our thing here, we're going to turn off the sidechain so it's not coming out of our output. We're going to duplicate this. If you want a more broken down version of this process, there's a video on sidechain compression on the EDMProd channel. Literally just search EDMProd sidechain compression if you want to know more. That's what it sounds like. We're going to bring that as our input into the compressor here. SC. Bring down the threshold. Add a little bit of attack. A little bit of a click doesn't matter too much because you don't really hear it in the mix anyway. Bit more release. Do you know what? I normally wouldn't suggest this, but we're actually going to shorten the tail of this kick sample a little bit. Yeah. Let's try that. It's just a little bit too boomy, I'm starting to realize. So you got to be careful. You still don't want too much tail, I suppose. So let's bring it more like that. Duplicate that over. See how this sounds. You got to get this bass right early in the track, right? All right, let's go there. Yeah, that's a much better kick. Still some low end in there, but it moves out the way of the bass note. Let's just extend that out a bit. Last trick I'm going to try to clean up this bass relationship is just also turning off warping here. Pitching all the kicks up a semitone. See how that goes? Turning down the kick just a little bit. Turning up the bass. Yeah, I think that's good. Ease back the sidechain there. I think this is a good relationship. We're getting somewhere with this. So in terms of the note pattern, I'm going to sort of start to actually compose something now. I'm going to go down to the E. So we're going to go dun dun. I'm going to go up to the C sharp here, back down the octave. To the E. Repeat the E maybe. Okay, I'm going to do something bold. I'm going to go up to the A minor. Yeah, going to go A, C, G, or maybe A, C, F. I'm going to go try FE here just to sort of create a bit of an interesting tense moment. And then we'll go repeat this pattern. Okay. This could be okay. What I'm going to try is selecting all of these notes, times 2ing it, and making it a more slow pattern. Yeah. I'm not sure about the note up there. Maybe I'll go like this. Okay, let's see how that sounds. I'm liking the sound of this now. It's kind of got a good vibe to it. I'm going to turn the sub down just a little bit on the synth. What I'm going to do here is, because I'm not 100% on the sound, I might try replacing this sound with another one that I've pre-created. So let's have a look at what else we've got here. Got this melodic house bass. See if this sounds a little better. Longer decay. Not huge on that one. Let's try this sound. Melodic house Reese. I like the texture of that one. I feel like we could layer these together a little bit. But this one I would take the highs out of. Lows out of, rather. Oof. All right, they got a good bass vibe going on here. Very simple pattern, but there's like a nice long 16-bar movement, which is quite nice. I'm quite keen on that. Sidechain sounds good. We may adjust it a little bit. We're going to move on now to some pads. I want to sort of create a main sort of melodic motif, kind of like in Beyond Beliefs. That's kind of the default melody, but it's something we can layer on top of. It's not just like a boring pad. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to draw in a new MIDI clip. I'm going to bring in an instance of Serum here. Find like a nice pad sound. Let's go to Splice, maybe Melodic House. What have we got here? Pad. So like, what are we in? We're in A minor. Let's just use this for now as like sort of as the basis of the sound. We're going to do some cool sound design stuff though to this. Cool. So this is like a 7th chord, right? We're going to voice it a little differently though. I'm going to legato that the whole way along. The whole pattern, right? Make sure we've got no other notes in there. I'm going to turn this down a bit. feel like I want to use a bit of an auto filter on this just to duck it down though. Oh yeah. And then what I'm going to do is take the A and the E, which is the octave up, the root and the fifth, go down the octave. Also going to EQ out the lows a bit. Just don't want any mud down there. Okay, in terms of what to do here, I kind of want to do a bit of a LFO on this auto filter, maybe to create sort of a pattern. Maybe a square. Meant to go square there. I'm going to try something like shaper box. I feel like would be cool on here just to add a bit of texture and movement. Let's just try adding it on and finding a random preset. Kind of create like a sequence, right? Try this. That's kind of cool. Not quite what I'm after, but something like that. Getting somewhere. I'm just trying to find the right one. Not really finding anything I'm after here, so I'm going to try a auto pan, maybe to kind of create some more rhythmic effects. Phase on 0. I'm going to try an arpeggiator on this just to add a bit of movement. Long gate. Try up an octave. Ooh. I want to add a bit of reverb to this as well. This could be cool. Let's try a quick Valhalla of some sort. Maybe like a big vintage verb or something like that. Gonna move the offset of this. Yeah, this is cool. I might try a 16th on the arpeggiator. Cool. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sort of do some cool sound design stuff where I'm just going to resample this sound playing on its own and just move some knobs, and then we're going to find like a cool loop. Didn't mean to do that. Got to make sure this is the armed one. Yeah, let's just find a nice part of this. Let's like take these two chops here. I really like this first part and then this part. See if we can get something like this. Maybe fade them together or something like that. Something like this. Yeah, that's quite cool. I'm going to take a quick EQ and just high pass it a bit. Something like this, and just fade the edge of that one. Yeah, something like this. I like the sound of this. It sounds pretty cool, deep sounding. Maybe high pass it a bit more. Maybe we'll add something like a bit of OTT to it. Ooh, that's kind of cool. And then we're going to add a bit of like delay or something. Not ping pong. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Just gonna low pass the tops there. Gonna add another quick EQ. Boost it up. I'm gonna reapply the same reverb I was using here. I really like that as like our basic pattern, right? It sounds pretty cool. We're gonna get some sidechain on this bad boy. Let's bring that into the mix. Cool. Now that that's in there, we're going to just bring in a new MIDI track. We're going to start to get some chords in, like a more solid piano type key sound, right? This is going to really add some harmonic texture to things, really complement this texture we've added. I'm going to call this melody sequence. It's kind of like a melody, I guess. We'll leave that pad there just in case we want to reuse it, but we'll turn it off for now. Now, in terms of this piano sound, I'm thinking there's a certain Serum preset I have in mind. Wondering if I saved it in here. I think it's this Forever piano. I've used this before, I think, on a tutorial. Can't quite remember. This is a kind of keyboard type sound with a one shot loaded into Serum. Yeah. Wondering if I'm going to use this actually as a melody sound. I might use something else as a key sound, like this maybe. Or this sound. These are kind of a nice mellow sound, but let's see how that sounds. Might add a bit of saturation here just to boost up the vibe. Some soft clip. Bit of volume. Okay, let's see how we go. Something around like that. Let's just kind of play it along. Okay, I just captured that with the capture MIDI function. Okay, we're gonna sort of get the MIDI all around the same spot. Send it to a bit of our reverb bus that I got set up by default. I'm going to do the same thing where I take these two notes, go up the octave. Might go this note down the octave. Yeah, that's nice. Let's add a bit of filter opening on it. Maybe a bit of filter movement on the envelope. Whoa, not like that. Let's add a bit of like multi-band comp to it just to liven up the key sound a bit. Bit of side chain on it. I'm gonna try toning down this top note. It just feels a little. I'm actually gonna go this now. Note down the octave. I want this top note to be that E on all the chords. Something like this. Maybe I could layer that up. Sounding quite nice. Tighten up the timing there a little bit. Turn this down a bit on the 2 to 3K range. It's a bit honky around there. I'm just going to try swapping this sound out really quick. What I'm going to do is just, again, duplicate this channel. I want to see if there's a better sound that I could be using. Sometimes you just get stuck in one particular sound. So let's try something else, like a key sound. No, that's not what we want. Let's try this. Okay. Sounding a little glitchy there. I'm just going to open up the filter on this sound, to be honest. Not that one, the original one. add an extra EQ just to soften it after the filter. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one and go with this one. I think it sounds more mellow and quite nice. Okay, so I just had to freeze these two basses just to save some CPU, and I removed the original patch for this melody sequence. We can just commit to it in audio now. I am just gonna grab these two basses in a bass group, and the reason for this is because I feel like there's still a little bit of mid-range conflicting with the mids of this. So I'm just gonna EQ this a little bit here. I'm going to grab just a general low pass here. Maybe a bit of a cut here. Wherever the fundamental of this is, which is around 200, 300, so maybe a bit lower. Now with this sound, I am liking the direction. I'm going to add a touch more reverb. I like the general vibe, although I don't know if I like the oscillator, so I'm going to switch this to a saw type sound. Maybe something like this. Yeah. Well, that's nice. Maybe bring the reverb back just a little bit. I'm going to also add a bit of echo, I reckon we'll add on it, just to add a bit of delay tail. We'll do a dotted eighth. I'm going to bring back these notes a bit more onto the grid. Turn it up a bit. Yeah, maybe a bit more high end. A bit more decay, potentially. Ooh, yeah. Bit of an 18th dB per octave, maybe. Yeah, that's nice. Bit of resonance. Yeah. Now I want to add a bit of character on this echo, a bit of a wobble. Bit of reverb. Maybe a bit of noise too. Ping pong maybe. Ooh, yeah, just filter that a bit. This is sounding way better now. I'm really liking this. I'm going to remove this top note here. Get rid of that. Maybe add a bit of noise in here just to get that analog-y type sound. Maybe an analog sound like this one. Maybe I'll do like a short envelope on envelope 2 here on the noise, just a bit. Try a different one. Yeah. Sounding really good. Gonna remove this combs filter. Don't think it really adds much to the sound. Add a bit of attack to add some softness. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Nice. I'm gonna add some LFO, maybe some chaos oscillator actually here, which is Serum sort of random oscillator to the global master tune, just to add a bit of randomness. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna slow that right down here. Yes, that's where we get the analog flavor from. I'm gonna turn down the melodic sequence just a little bit. Little less OTT there. Maybe like that. Yeah. We're going to repeat that right at the end here. Let's extend out the clip now. These are our main chords, right? Randomize that a little differently. Try this one maybe. Maybe we'll get rid of that top note just to vary it up from the previous chord. Extend this out. Go down here for that note. Maybe we will. Go down to that D. Up the octave. Add the 7th in there. Boom. See how that sounds? Let's randomize that a little bit. Maybe we need this note up here as well. So I think this one should be actually going up this way. Yeah, that should be the bottom note. Get rid of this one. So it should be an A minor. Something like that. There we go. Randomize that start time. Get rid of the 7th there. Top note there. Yeah. C major with the 7th. Maybe go back down. Dun, dun. Need this chord. Put that there. Not sure what to do with this chord here. We got the, it goes up to the F. Okay, so we should copy this one. But maybe revoice it a little bit. Yeah. Turn down this kick a little bit. Okay, and then for this one, we just copy these 3 chords here. Yeah. All right, those are our keys. I'm not really liking the sound of this. Now, what I might do here is I might just layer it up with a new sort of sound in Serum here. Maybe a preset that sounds good. Let's go to our melodic. What are we at? I think some of these pad sounds here could be cool. Oh yeah. Add some more reverb to this one in Serum here. Yeah, nice. Have this more in the background a little bit. I want to add a bit of retro color to this if I can. It's a great VST just for adding a bit of analogy type effects. See if we can add this in here. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, a bit of this sad piano. Call it keys background. That's a nice additional layer. I really like how that's filling out the mix now. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay. Last thing I just want to add in is some sort of consistent ARP. I'm just going to load in a 1-bar MIDI clip here. We're just going to program in a basic saw pattern for now, just to get the notes right. This is just going to be this consistent ARP sort of layering up with the melodic sequence to kind of create this rhythmic melodic texture, right? So we're in... Yeah, something like this. Yeah, something like this. Loop that up. Maybe the bottom note could be... Maybe we'll add like a little grace note in there somewhere. I don't like those grace notes. I'm going to get rid of them. I like the simplicity of this. Let's quickly find a sound here. I'm just going to go into my preset library, search for an ARP, see what we can find. ARP. Ideally something not from the default serum library because they're not always the best sounds. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, it's okay. Kind of like this one. Let's add a bit of delay on it though. It's a bit too static for now. I'm gonna go down the octave. I feel like it's a little too high here for my liking. Let's just add a pitch, go down the octave. Bit too much. Bit less noise. Might change this to a different sound and get, yeah, the detune's just a bit much for me. Yeah, that's nicer. Bit of chorus. Bit more analogy now, I like it. Yeah, add a bit of time movement to this delay. Might add a second EQ with a filter. Nice. Let's just take the low end out just in case. Reverb. Yeah, just getting those two sounds sounding good together. That's sounding good for now. I'm really quite liking this. What I am going to try with this ARP, one last thing, is just adding in a quick step up note at a 1/16th interval. Just adding that extra little note in there up the octave. I'm going to add a bit of the, I think it's the chorus ensemble device. There's like a vibrato effect you can add. Just getting that organic texture in there, right? A bit of movement. That's what you really need in melodic house. So this is sounding really good now. What I'm going to move on to is sort of a main melody. So we're going to turn this down a little bit in the mix, because there's still scope for a main melody. Now I'm going to add in a really quick new MIDI channel here. I'm going to go to my audio instrument racks. There's a classic piano sound that I have used in a few other tracks that I want to use here. I think I loaded it up before, potentially had to use it, but didn't stick to it. I'm just going to kind of, yeah, riff off a melody here, see what I come up with. Yeah, that's cool. Bit of a delay there. Yeah. Yeah, so this is like a keyboard sound with a sub-squarey sign going into a filter German LP. Bit of hyper to thicken it up. Tons of long decay reverb, and then just a high pass to tighten up the low end, going into some vinyl distortion. Bit of Isotope vinyl, which is a great vinyl effects plugin. Filter to mute it. EQ to fix it. Compression, bit of delay and gate. Sounds quite beautiful. I love this sound. Yeah, I really like this. Gonna add our sidechain we've got here onto both the ARP. I'm going to turn down the ARP a little bit more here. Mute it even more. Maybe down the octave there with the ARP. No, I think that's fine there. It just needs to be a bit quieter. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Dun, dun. Duh, duh. Yeah, a little extra note in there. Okay, so this is the melody so far. We'll extend it out to have a little note. Then I'm going to have a little fill in here. Yeah. So I'm going to actually turn off this main keys now and see how it sounds. I'm going to turn back some of this reverb on this main melody serum here. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Gonna add a bit of a filter on this other background pad sound. What I am gonna do is in Serum, just going to do. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna group this. I'm gonna put a new chain in here. I'm gonna drag a Serum onto the new chain. Here, we're going to add in just some noise of some sort. I'm going to put the filter in this serum. Add a bit of noise there. Or maybe if I do add it outside here, I'll just have it less intense. Yeah, put it in there after the filter. After the isotope, right? Rather, sorry. So I'm going to drag these three inside this first one. There we go. And then this one too in there. Yeah, bring this down more. Ah, I'm adding it all to the wrong one. Okay, so let's gonna put this back here. Yep. Gonna add an EQ on that noise just to tidy it up a bit. I'm gonna put that in there as well. Yep. Get the original chain in that instrument rack. Add a bit of an envelope. Add a bit of release to it. Yeah, I think this is a more like melodic housey now. These keys here, I like them. I just maybe want to have them come in another section, right? So maybe what I'm going to do here is simply duplicate this. This one, they can start off with like not being in here. We're going to start to get into the arrangement now that we're doing this. Maybe we get rid of the ARP here. We can sort of start to quantize these just a little bit because they're a little bit off. Transform those a bit. We'll duplicate those over there so they're the same quantized ones. Get that one there, a bit more on the grid. Here I'm going to mute off these patterns just to sort of tease certain hits of chords, but these keys aren't going constantly. Yeah, this is really starting to pick up quite nicely, which I'm enjoying. I'm wondering if I could have some sort of vocal texture of some sort. So what I'm going to do is quickly see if I can find a vocal that I can use to sort of just turn into something a little like melodic housey.
Don't take your...
Not sure about that.
Huh?
No. See what we can find. Yeah. Not really that. Maybe we'll find something on Splice really quick. So let's go Vox. Just gonna go random and find something sort of works in, I would say, progressive house. Let's find a random progressive house vocal.
Rockin'.
Yeah. See, this is where progressive house is not melodic house, and everyone has a different definition of that. So let's see what we come up with.
Faster. House music.
I'm not thinking we're going to find anything there. All right, let's try something else here. Maybe we could try this and just do something interesting, add a bunch of reverb to it or something. Get into the right key. So we're in G sharp, so G sharp A, B, flat, B, C. 3. I'm just going to try a reverse instead. Yep, let's try that. I'm going to add like a huge reverb to it. Let's add something like a Valhalla Shimmer. Let's go here. Valhalla Shimmer is just great for those long, not supermassive shimmer. Those long textures. Really like the black hole preset. Let's copy this over here, picking a different part of the vocal to use. So we can just go Shift Alt and move it along there. Maybe we'll try a different bit here, something a bit later. Maybe again something. those vocals are cool. I really like that. We'll pretty much leave it at that because it kind of plays in between the melody there and the vocal. Okay, I'm going to duplicate these across. In this second section, we're going to duplicate the melody, and what we're going to do here is I'm going to remove all the stuff from the first section. We're going to layer this melody up with something completely different. So we're actually going to delete all of this stuff. We're going to bring in a new serum. We're going to just layer up with some sort of lead sound that we can find. Let's see if we can find a good lead. Yeah, that's nice. That could be quite nice. Let's see what else we've got, just as a few other creative options. Oh, that's cool. I think I like the other one better, but we'll just see. Turn that way down. Yeah. So the mod wheel here controls the amount of high end. Nice. Okay. That's sounding a lot better. I do think in this case, we need a little bit more quantization. So I'm going to do that on both here. Boom. I do like this sound. I just think it's a bit too bright. So I'm going to add a bit of a high pass. Low pass. The velocity is also on the filter, but too much. So I'm going to make the higher notes. I'm going to change the amount of velocity control that the filter has. I'm also going to really quickly get a velocity here and just control the amount of range. So there's more consistency. Yeah. Yeah. That one there is just a bit off still. Sidechain's still going. All right, that's sounding good. I'm really liking where this is going. Let's try and bring in a bit more percussion now just to vary up this section here, because I like it starting out with just the kick, but I want like some shakers and stuff like that in. So let's see what sounds we've got here. Something like a bit of a shaker loop like this. We might layer a couple up just to get a different texture. I'm gonna repitch that to make it in time. Beat warping mode isn't always the greatest for shakers, but I do like this. Add a bit of drums verb on it just to soften it. Maybe a few layers again, just to get some really nice top end going on here. Bring that down. This one's a little thicker, but the timing's a bit off. I'm gonna use it, but at a lot quieter of a volume. Let's try what else and see what else we've got here. Well, that's cool. Let's use this one as a third sort of layer. Pan those like this. Yeah. Get a bit of texture in there. Repitch this one. Nice. I really like that. Let's see if we can find like a tambourine or something just to add a final sort of layer here. That could work. Let's see how this goes. Add a bit of reverb to these other ones. Yeah, and then I think a hat on the offbeat would be good because we don't really have that yet. Let's just find a solid hat for now. I think this noisier sort of one would be good. Yep, let's try that. This is from our EDM starter kit, I'm pretty sure this one. So it's a very solid, reliable hat. Let's just do that for now. Bit of reverb. All right, that's sounding good. Let's copy it over once more. I'm going to bring in a clap now. We're just going to sort of get a nice, soft but powerful clap going on. Let's layer up a couple maybe to get a bit of our own unique vibe going on here. Oh yeah. I find melodic house claps to be fairly quiet and subdued, so we don't need to go crazy here. Maybe like this sort of one, like this. Let's like just keep it pretty simple, I reckon. We'll just layer one more in for fun. Something like this. Ooh, that's a bit off the beat there. Let's go back a bit here. Yep, I like this. Yep. Let's just literally keep that simple and duplicate it, right? Boom. That's our clap. 3 layers. They all just sound good. This one's the main one. This one's just adding a bit of slackness to it. Turn down a little quieter. This one's adding just a bit of brightness to the tail. And just a bit of space too. Let's group this in the clap group, add a bit of verb to it. Tiny bit. Just going to take some of the low end out of this one just because it feels a bit too ambient. And there's a bit of ambience in the low end I don't like. kick a little more volume. I feel like one of these shaker layers I just want to use in the background of this first one here. This one's just got a bit of top end I want to get rid of. Yep, bit better. Boost it up to compensate in volume. That's just a more subtle, organic feeling sort of flavor now, and then the more full drums come in here. Gonna remove that new melody layer from this part. We're gonna do melody 2. I'm gonna call this Vox. I'm gonna like mute the kick for these last 2 bars. Or actually what I'll do is I'll just enable a high pass filter. I'm just gonna turn on for these 4 bars. That's a nice way to get the kick out, the kick's low end out the way, but not the full kick. Yeah, now our arrangement's really starting to take place. So we're going to continue to get this drop arrangement fleshed out, perhaps add a few more effects and new elements, vary up the melody a bit, and then we'll start to get our intro, breakdown sorted, and then we should be done. Okay, so let's start to flesh out the rest of our arrangement now. I'm going to open the track up similar to the style of Beyond Beliefs, where it's kind of just this sequence sound and a shaker. I'm going to use the tambourine here. Slightly different vibe, right? Maybe I'm going to use these in here as well, just as a bit of a vibe enhancer. So what I'm going to do with this sound is I'm going to automate the filter cutoffs. So we're going to sort of just move the sound around a bit. I'm going to start it a little bit lower. I also want to automate this delay here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a little quick record. I'm going to unarm this track and just move the delay around a little bit and play with the feedback knobs as well. Right. So what I'm going to do here is actually, I'm going to continue this through here, I reckon. I'm going to mute these vocals because I want these to come in for this section, kind of acting as a counter melody. So I don't want them starting there. I'm also going to potentially mute these keys. I also want to see how it sounds with a smoother transition where just the melodic sequence continues, just the bass and the kick come in. So we'll see how that sounds. Because I'm pretty sure the kick... Yeah, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the lead melody as a lead-in effect here. All right, so... So I'm going to just add this last little 2 notes, not the whole phrase. I'm going to add another note. Da, da, da. I want to add a bit of multi-band comp on this just so that this lead sticks out just that little bit more. We're going to do it before the delay. There does seem to be a little stray note in here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. What I'm going to do here is this pad, I'm going to slowly tease it and bring it in. So I'm going to actually filter it in over time so it sort of slowly builds up. Here I want it to open up even more, and then I really want it to open up here. Actually, even over this section, I'm going to have it sort of slowly open up because I'm anticipating to use it here. I don't want these in just yet. I actually want to bring them only in here now, I realize. So just, again, a little bit more of a subtle introduction. What we may even do is just tease one chord stab. Yeah. Cool. And then what we're going to do with this ARP is, first and foremost, we are slowly going to open it up, but not until here. So we're going to add a bit of movement. Again, building up energy, just that little bit. Start it down here. Yep. What I am going to do is also is maybe play around with the decay here. Oh, that's even better. I actually like that, not as long as it was before. We're going to add a macro on the delay, find a max point. Sorry, decay, not delay. What's the max point going to be? Do a bit on the release as well. Really open that up. Also on the filter cutoff. Yeah, that sounds good there. See what else we got here. I think there's a filter somewhere else. Oh yeah, we'll open that up. Okay, so with this ARP, we are going to then configure macro 1 to be modulated. We're going to do that. Boom. Now we're really getting this arrangement dialed in, right? Because we're really creating those movements you want in melodic house. We'll kind of leave it like that for now. Slowly bring it up over time. I'm going to add this to my stereo bus a bit, just to add a bit more stereo to it, which is down here on D. It's just the ozone imager and a side solid. Yeah. I'm going to try a pitch on this melody here. The second melody, I don't know if I like it that high just yet. Maybe what we'll do, have it down here. And then in this section, we're going to go up the octave. And then here we're gonna like let that chord come in. Here we're gonna have the full keys. Okay, so now we're gonna go on these keys here. We're gonna get a macro in Serum. We're gonna push it here. So it's gonna start like this. Like that, yeah. Nice. And what we're also gonna do is modulate this a bit, open it up. Yeah, that's sounding sick. So we can start like this. Yep, we're gonna configure that cutoff now. Bam, let's get that going. Bit more of a high pass just to clean up some of that low end. I fear this is opening up a little too soon, so yep, so keep this going here. So we're going to really get that feedback cranking up again from here on outwards, get that really going here. We'll actually also play with the dry wet even more here as we get closer to the end, so it becomes even more loud. And we'll open up the width here as well as we get there to get a bit of a wider feel. Increase that movement there. Get some reverb modulation on it. Yep. I'm going to copy all these drums here. I'm probably going to need to soon unfreeze our basses and get some stuff going there. Get our vocals. Alright, I'm going to bring in a ride in this section as well, so hopefully we have some sort of cymbal maybe. Let's look for a ride then. Packs. What have we got here? Maybe that could work. Let's just look at splice really quick. We're going to look for a ride in the genre of, let's go progressive house, because that's most likely going to get us something. We're just going to go to the most relevant sample around there. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, that's the randomest sample I've ever seen. Let's set 1.1.1 here. If I can just loop this one, maybe. Send a bit of reverb. Yeah, it's sounding good. Maybe another like little loop of some sort could be good. No, not that. That's actually quite a nice shaker. I'm wondering if here I could bring in another shaker loop just to bring up the energy even more. How many shaker loops is too many? See what else we can add in here. Might add a bit of hat variation, or maybe not. We'll just leave it at that. I am going to go on the serum here. Again, I'm going to bring up a configure here. Add a macro on the dry wet of the reverb. Call this verb. If I can spell words right. There we go. And then I'm going to configure that so we can get some more reverb from this. Let's get that going there. Maybe about there. Yeah, I'm also going to do the same with this reverb here. Boom. Do it the delay as well, because why not? We want more reverb in this section. Boom. And then same with delay here. Move it back down here. I'm going to increase the gain of these vocals slowly over time so they become more prominent in the mix. Sidechain. Yeah, nice. Get some. Nice. Gonna start to fade out the kick for the last 4 bars here. Yeah. Nice. This is really coming together. I'm just going to sort of play from left to right now and see how this track is turning out. Gonna get the dry wet of the delay coming in over time. Get these on time. Still not sure about this tambourine. This one here needs a bit of a high pass, I think, this one to get the texture. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, so this timing here would be better still. Yeah, that's a bit too loud when that comes in there. What I am going to do though is I reckon here I'm going to consolidate this and fade it in over time, so it's like a subtle increase in energy. Here I'm going to add a little fade on the bass line just to add this little tense moment here. So we're going to fade it out sort of like this. I'm going to start to really open up this filter on the background keys a little earlier just so that they fill in these gaps more. Bring this chord in here. Here I'm going to go into this one. Bring this in there. Now that I got that automation on there, I actually don't want to have these gaps as much in there. All right, we're going to add in a quick sound here. I'm going to use actually a different synth. I'm going to add in Analog Lab Arturia. One of my favorites. Just for like a good solid string sound, right? Just a one note sort of, almost like a third sort of melody, but not really a melody. It's a very simple sound. Just to sort of flesh out this last little swelly section where everything's getting bigger. You're really creating that big epic burst of energy at the end here. And then we're probably just going to give it some final polishes and mix it down. We'll go from there. All right, let's go to strings. Let's go to, what do we got here? Yeah, that's cool. What are we going to do? Yeah, nice. Okay, we're going to capture all that MIDI. Make sure that first note is right on the grid there. Bit of verb. Gonna unfreeze this bass for a sec and see what we can automate on this. Okay, we got some filter we can automate on this. Let's do this. All right, let's just start to bring it up over time a little bit here. Okay, let's unfreeze this one, see what we got here. Same thing, I would say. Let's just do the filter here directly. Oh, we've already got it. All right. Wherever it was before. Okay, let's unfreeze. Okay. Don't know where that was before. We'll have to find out kind of roughly. Bit up from there. Delete this automation. Yeah. Open this up. Give this a bit of a high-end boost with some channel EQ, I reckon, just so that those highs come through a bit more harsh, not harshly, but they cut through. Nice. I'm just going to let this sort of have a bit of an extra vocal moment. Maybe we'll go like... yeah, something like that, just to sort of expand it out, I guess, could be cool. I really, really like that. I think I would like start to fade some of these things out if we were to do a full breakdown. But I think we're going to leave it at this for this course here. We're just going to do a final mix down now to make sure everything's pretty good. So we're just going to go from our drums to our bass to our melodic stuff. Make sure everything sounds clean. I like starting with drums because that tends to be the backbone of the track mix-wise. If you get the drums and the bass right, everything else kind of falls into place. So let's just start by like listening to this kind of main section here with just the kick. Bring in the shaker. Pull this shaker group. I'm going to add the like literal slightest bit of sidechain on this shaker group just to make sure that gets out the way. Bring the threshold back. Give it a bit of extra. Yep, bring in the hat. Just gonna double check the high pass on this hat, thin it out just that little bit. Bring that down a little bit. I'll put this in the shaker group as well. Can go down a little bit maybe. I'm just going to give this clap group just a little bit of a high-end boost. Yep. This clap here, I'm just going to sort of use drums bus as a transient shaper here just to get rid of that tail. Yeah, like this. Going to use a bit of multi-band comp on my bass here just to tighten it all up. I'm going to also move the compressor to the end of the bass group rather than on the individual channels. That'll just make it sound better. Yep, nice. Bring the bass down a bit. That EQ is nice, just softening those low mids which can get a bit boomy and muddy. Yeah, creating some space for that mid-range stuff, really nice. Yep. I think I could actually give the highs of the kick a little bit of a boost. Yep, minor. Let's go bring in the keys. High pass these a bit more. Get rid of the mids. Bring out the lows on this string synth. Stereo on the string. Yeah, just getting the reverb and delay right on that melody sequence, bringing the ARP. I'm going to add a bit of an auto pan on this just to sort of move it around in the sides a little bit. Just very subtle mixing technique to make it dance around and pop out of the mix. And ping pong will help with that too. Some stereo to the melody. Stereo to the vocals as well. Okay, maybe not that much stereo. Nice. The mix is sounding pretty good, to be honest. Let's just listen to our sends. I think the shaker can go down just a touch. Cool, I'm gonna put all the drums together. We're just gonna go drums, give it a bit of stereo here as well. Take out the lows. All right, we just need to give it a bit of loudness push now, so let's boost up our limiter. We're just gonna apply a quick limiter to our clap here, just to catch the peaks. Just going to use a bit of a utility to compensate for gain. That sounds nice. Give us some headroom on our limiter here. Check between our reference and ours. Okay, I think we need a little more melody, a little more of the main chords, a little more of the background, a little more of this melodic sequence. Just basically a little bit more of everything. Maybe a little more ARP as well. More vocal. Slightly less verb, I reckon. We can just watch all of our verbs. This down a bit here. This here. This is towards the end, so that's fine. A little less delay. A little less reverb there. A little bit less of this reverb. Less delay there. Like in this sound, we just need a little less. I'm gonna use a second EQ here. So I'm just going to use a slight low pass on the drums just to take off these really top end heavy stuff. Yeah. Gonna use a little bit of maybe just parallel glue compression on the drums as well, just to blend them all together. Okay, not parallel. We're going to just do a little bit of subtle massaging here. Sometimes I find it also helpful to do some drums bus parallel processing too. I actually prefer it without both of them. What I might do is just use a bit of a limiter to control everything at the end. Just in case, but it's pretty good to be honest. We're just going to watch the amount of reverb that gets added there at the end. It's still a bit much. Yeah. Maybe a bit of multi-band comp on the master just to sort of tighten everything together like this. 20% or so. Maybe a single band compressor is better, I think. Like just a subtle 2-to-1 ratio. Bit of attack, bit of release. Turn off EQ and sidechain. back that side chain on the main melody so it's more forward and less like sucking sort of effect. All right, I reckon that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's listen to everything. Let's give our final track a listen where we got to, celebrate our hard work, see all the things come together, and let's listen. And that is it for this course. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the full production process of a melodic house track in the style of Böhmer, Lane 8, those sort of guys. If you want to grab this whole project for free down below in the description, you can. I'll bounce out the things and you can dissect them for yourself. And let me know what you want to see next on this channel in terms of which genre you'd like me to build. Always doing new ones of those. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And until next time, happy producing.